Hey guys, Jerry West here. How's it going? It's a Tuesday afternoon, and I know you're used to seeing me on Monday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. However, I spent my entire Monday morning driving all over the place looking for plaid pants and a cardigan for my 16-year-old who is in a high school musical. So I had to find a 60-ish dad outfit, which those were the items that were listed there. So that's why I wasn't on Monday morning. Yesterday was freaking crazy for me, so I didn't even post that I was going to delay, but I figured, you know what, I'm just going to hop on right now, and I'm going to do lesson 22 from my book, 52 Lessons from Network Marketing. Lesson 22 is never dare to compare, which is a good lesson. It's something that I went through. So before I get started, when you hop on, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Darren, Michael, Jedediah, what's going on, buddy? Let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know where you're watching from. If you want to join my group, I have a Facebook group, 52 Lessons from Network Marketing. It's free for anyone from any company, and it's all about personal development. There's no spamming or pitching in there. So just search for the 52 Lessons from Network Marketing Facebook group, and you can request to join. All of my past lessons are in there. They're also on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can search for me on YouTube, and there's a 52 Lessons from Network Marketing playlist on there for you, and you can watch all the past videos there as well. So, before I get started, let me ask you a question. Who here, give me a 1 in the comments, if you've ever compared yourself to somebody else who is, and we're talking about within network marketing here, so if you've compared yourself to somebody else who is at a higher rank than you are, or that has achieved the top rank, have you ever compared yourself to somebody like that in your own mind? Give me a 1 in the comments, or you could just give me the face palm. If you give me a face palm emoji, that would be even funnier, because if you're comparing yourself to other people, you should be going like this, right? Give me the face palm emoji. We've all done it. We've all done it. So, it's not like it's anything to be embarrassed about. I used to compare myself to other people. Sometimes I still fall into the trap of comparing myself to other people. And believe me, it is a trap. I'm telling you, it's a trap. But now, because of where I've gotten to, I have others that compare themselves to me, I'm sure. Maybe some of you have compared yourself to me. I don't know. But if you have, you shouldn't, because, and I'm going to tell you why you do it. But I remember when I first joined network marketing, and, I met I met a couple that were leaders of the company that I joined, the very first company I joined, and they had given up their landscaping business to build this network marketing business full time because they were tired of having to do the work all the time. They didn't have enough money to do the things they wanted to do, to retire on. They didn't want to work that hard for the rest of their lives. They wanted time freedom. They wanted to spend more time with their children, their grandchildren. It's why people start a network marketing business. They want to get out of the workforce, get out of corporate, or get out of owning a business that owns you, whatever the reason is. And these people had, in a short period of time, achieved a very high rank in the company and were earning over $20,000 a month, and I remember seeing this couple when I first started and wanting that dream. That's something that I wanted, but I just didn't, I didn't see myself as the one that had the story that they had, that I didn't know if I really, and I didn't probably at the time fully believe in myself enough that I thought I could be them one day. But then fast forward down the line, the first network marketing event that I ever traveled to go to was in Atlanta, Georgia in 2015, I want to say, okay? And I remember seeing 2 or 3 people receive a $10,000 bonus check, holding up a giant $10,000 bonus check on stage. And one lady, who was the top income earner in this company at the time, received a $25,000 bonus check. And then the next event I went to, that same lady actually received a $100,000 bonus check on one check, standing there holding it up on stage. Now that's freaking nuts money, right? So here I am, in the somebody in the company who hasn't ranked yet, or maybe you're new in the company and you're sitting there in the audience and you're watching these people hold up these giant checks on stage, and you're wondering to yourself, you're thinking to yourself, if you're saying that's going to be me, I'm going to do that, but do you really believe in your mind that you're going to do that? You're comparing yourself to that person. So you have the tendency to, when things aren't going fast enough, when you come back from that event, when you see those people earn those big checks and you come back from that event, you have a tendency to start comparing yourself, because maybe all of the effort that you're putting in is not moving your business along fast enough, and yet you see this other person who's holding up this giant check, who's getting all the accolades and all the recognition, and it's just frustrating. And maybe you even start to feel jealousy or a little bit of angst toward that person. Have you ever thought in your mind, give me a 2 in the comments, have you ever thought in your mind that you were so annoyed by such a person, like maybe somebody in your upline who's a top leader, that really, really annoys you? But if you sat there and you thought about it, the only reason they annoy you is because they've achieved all of this success and earned those big checks, and you're struggling. So you hate them. You know what I mean? Have you ever had that feeling before? I'm not going to lie. I've had that feeling before. Give me a 2 in the comments if you ever had that feeling before. You just you can't stand that person. You can't stand them and their stupid big checks and their dumb smile on their face and how everybody loves them, and you can't stand them because you're struggling, but yet it's so easy for them, right? It's so easy for them. Well, that's where the fault is, guys. That is where the fault is. And I see a comment here. Shannon said they inspire me. Well, that's why they do it at a network marketing event. That's why if I ever, and I don't do it a lot, but that's why I post my success to share with people, because my goal is to inspire people and to show them what is possible. It's never to shove it in somebody's face. It's always to show them, hey, you know what? This is what's possible. So don't quit. This is what's possible. I didn't quit and I got here. You could do the same. That's what I'm trying to show people. That no matter where you are, no matter what you think, no matter what your mindset is at the current time, that it's possible to get from where you are to where I am, and from where I am to where I'm going from this point going forward. So what you don't see is this, and this is the point, is that person standing up on the stage holding the big check. And I did it for the first time in October of 2017. Was my first time ever standing up on stage holding up a big check, okay? Almost 6 years being in the industry. So it would be, at that point, it would be 5 years and 10 months in the industry. And that was my first time ever standing on stage holding up a giant check, which was a $1,000 check. But it was a big plastic check, and I held that damn thing above my head because I worked for that check. I went through struggling to sponsor people. I went through really bad mindset things, limiting beliefs, being afraid to talk to people, being afraid to present my business opportunity to people or to talk to people about my products. I went through ranking, building a team, losing a team. That sucks, guys. The worst thing that ever happened to me was I was in a company for over 2 years before the current company I'm in now, and I built a team. I built an income up to, it got over $3,000 in a month, was the highest that I had built it at the time, which, all of us are shooting for a lot higher, obviously. But if you think about it, $3,000 in a month is $36,000 in a year. It's like having another full income in your household from someone who's working, a regular full-time job, which where I live, jobs can pay in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So, that's pretty good, right? $3,000 a month, and then sunk all the way down to like below 300. Horrible feeling to not be able to, no matter how much you fought, no matter how much you struggled, to be able to get the income to come back up again. So, these are the struggles that I've gone through. I've seen people join and quit right away. I've seen people quit and blame me and call me the bad guy. It was my fault that they failed. I've had people badmouth me. I've had people hate on me, call me a bad person. And I'm sure that because I am right now, where I am right now, that there are people out there that have comparitis when they look at me. Comparitis, that's what it's called. Comparing yourself to somebody else. But the thing is, when you compare yourself to somebody else, all you're seeing is the end result. You're sitting there comparing yourself to the person standing on stage, holding up the big check with the smile that everybody loves, and you think they have it so easy, but you're not considering all of the struggles that they went through to get to where they are. So if you're at the point in your journey where you're struggling and you're trying to get to that next level and it's just hard, you have to realize that that's all part of it, okay? It's all part of it. And yeah, where's the easy for him to say crowd, right? It's easy for me to say. But you know what? Little over 2 years ago, I was freaking nowhere, okay? I was nowhere. I was at the point where that $3,000 monthly income I built up was pretty much gone. I was at financial dire straits. I was not paying my bills on time, and I was nowhere. So I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to only have enough money to pay the bills, and that's it. All the stuff I've done the last couple of years, going on weekend getaways with my family, being able to go to Disney World, it's nice to be able to actually pay for that stuff. But it didn't come to me easy. It didn't come to me without a struggle. It didn't come to me without fighting adversity. That is what you have to realize. When you compare yourself to somebody else, try seeing the struggle behind it. Look at the story of the struggle that led to the success, because that's what's going to inspire you the most. The success is great, but that's not what inspires people. That's not what inspires action. What inspires action is the fact that there's a struggle that was going on before this person was standing up on stage. Potentially years of struggle, okay? Potentially years even before I was in network marketing, I dealt with alcoholism, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, low self-esteem, right? I fought through all that stuff. And that was even before I got started in network marketing. That was a time in my life where giving up cigarettes was my biggest victory, which is a victory, by the way. But that was my victory. That's what I could hold my hat on was, you know what? I quit smoking cigarettes cold turkey. And I had been smoking since college. And that was hard. That was really hard. But I did it. I didn't quit. Never quit anything in my life. I've always stuck to it. So that's what you have to learn. You're comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to the end result. And look at what your end result is and realize that you're on your own journey. They were on their journey, and they might be on page 90 or 100 of their journey, and maybe you're on page 5. You can't compare that. Their journey might be a grapefruit, and yours might be apples. You can't compare apples to grapefruits. It's completely different. Your set of circumstances, your timing of starting your business, your why, your skill set at the time that you get started, all that stuff is different from that person's why, their circumstances, their skill set when they first got started, their network when they first got started. All that matters, okay? The important thing is that you realize that you're on your own journey, let the other person's story of the struggle inspire you to get through yours. Never hate on them and never feel bitter. Always try to get better, okay? Never be bitter, always get better. That's one thing that you have to keep in your mind. Bitterness doesn't build anything. Bitterness is not positive. You always have to be working on your mindset to get better. You always have to be pushing through your journey to get better. And I was right back then. I was able to do this. But there was no reason to be jealous of somebody else. There was no reason to feel angst or to hate somebody else because they accomplished it 6 years or 7 years before I was able to accomplish it, or because somebody else got to the rank that I got to, in way less time or something like that. It's like, hey, how come it took me 6 years in the industry to hit a rank of 100K, and it took that person who just started 9 months? Why is that? I had somebody in my previous company that hit the top rank in the company in 9 months who had never done network marketing before, and here I am, having been in multiple companies, and I'm struggling. Why is that? You're better off, I'm telling you, to not ask why, because that person's journey and your journey are two completely different journeys. So never be bitter. Let the other person's story inspire you, but realize you're on your own story. Why are things different? Why does it appear to be easier for somebody else? It's never easier for somebody else, by the way. I'm telling you, it's never easier. Why does it appear to be easier for somebody else? Don't sign up, as Jim Rohn would say, don't sign up for that class. Because it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, right? Give me some arm flex emojis if you guys are getting value out of this. I hope you are, because I was feeling pretty emotional about this topic before I got on today. Tap those hearts too. I love when you tap those hearts in the bottom right corner. But I was feeling emotional about this when I got on today because now I've been in both positions. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be the person who's envious sitting in the audience. And I know what it's like to be the person who went through the struggle and made it up on stage. So I know that everybody watching this can be that person. And how do I know that? Well, while I do agree, I don't want to do any negative self-talk, but let's just say that I would say, I'm nothing special, right? But compared to other people, what I'm saying is I'm not better than anybody else. I'm not smarter than everybody else. I'm just some guy that went to a state college, who majored in beer, who went through all these different career changes because I realized, I wanted to be in radio. I realized I was never going to make any money in radio. So eventually I had to get out of that. Had my first child at 30 years old. And, just basically got lost in adulthood. Like a lot of people do. You get lost in adulthood. You are not doing what you went to school for. You feel stuck in whatever it is you're doing. So you get trapped in the day-to-day. Wake up, get ready, commute, go to some office for 8 hours, commute home in traffic, eat dinner, watch TV, and for me it was drink a bunch of beers, go to bed late, and wake up the next morning hungover and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's who I was. That's what I was stuck in. So just realize, whatever you're stuck in now, your story is different than my story, right? But I'm begging you, don't look at me up on stage and compare yourself to me. Please do not. Look at me up on stage and be inspired by me, and then get back home and work your ass off on your story so that you can inspire other people. Because everything you do matters. Everything you do matters, okay? If you quit, quitting's easy, right? It matters, though, because there's people out there that are not going to find out or be helped by your opportunity or your product. There's people out there that are waiting for you to change their life. They're waiting for you to tell them about this opportunity. If you think it's too hard and you quit, they're never going to find out. You know, whether you're the one that's going to tell them, or somebody you told tells them, or somebody that you told, that they told, that they told, that they told tells them. There's thousands of people out there that are going to be affected by your decision if you decide it's easy for this person on stage and it's so hard for me, so that's it, I quit. Well, good for you. Good for you for taking the easy way out. But guess what? Those thousands of other people that would have been affected by your decision to fight through it, their lives are never going to be changed now because you took the easy way out. So stop taking the easy way out. Stop comparing yourself to others and letting that affect you. Get to work on your story and fight through all the adversity until you're successful and get to the point where you want to get to. There are many days that I sat down and wondered if I was the right type of person, which is silly really, but if I was the right type of person, if I could ever get to where I am now. I battled with that in my mind over and over and over again, so I know what it's like. And you're going to have to battle it too. But at the end of the day, if you push through it and you push past it, you're going to win. Never stop pushing past it. That's my message for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. If you got value, once again, give me a lot of arm flex emojis, fist bump emojis. I like those. And you know, if you want to see the rest of, or if you want to go through the rest of these lessons in my book, you can get my book, 52 Lessons from Network Marketing, on Amazon or Kindle. It's available there. And you can request to join my Facebook group or go to my YouTube channel and you can watch the rest of these videos. All right, guys, have a great one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you got value. Peace.